So next up, we're going to be finishing Mike Burnfire's The Pipeline Survey Job from Campfire Stories. Last time we got to, honestly, a lot more weird shit than I was expecting. Because we went from a job as like, oh, I get to be on my own doing things too. We're going to be in public talking to people and having a drill in a parking lot. It just gets weirder and weirder from here. And we're only halfway through, so I have no idea how weird this gets because I've never done a pipeline job. And while the first part sounded pretty awesome, just being on your own, doing your own thing. The second part of, oh God, I have to people. Not as big a fan of that one. Let's see where this goes. I didn't leave a like. I didn't subscribe. Okay, don't be like me and forget to subscribe until Mike Burnfire. Until right now. Well, I'm just embarrassed about that. Yeah. Don't be me. Actually, subscribe to Mike Burnfire. Way to go, me.
But the job itself wasn't terrible. It was enjoyable. And then it kind of went from like 2 weeks on, 1 week off, till like 3 weeks on, 1 week off.
Okay, they asked for a little bit more work from you.
But
okay,
so
fine.
yeah, 3 out of the 4 weeks of a month you work, and then you spend a week at home. Fine,
Yeah.
that seems fair.
But-
Okay, fine. That's still okay. And you were working like temp jobs at the time, weren't you?
Probably, yeah. So you upsold this to me. You told me it was a good job.
But-
It was. To be fair, it was.
Oh, he tried to get him
joined
into it as
you,
well.
And we did this job. Sure enough, it seems fairly easy. I think our daily schedule was that we would wake up, make sure our gear was in order. We'd go down to a
So he had
Denny's or a
joined.
local restaurant. We'd use the daily stipend they gave us to eat some breakfast. And then we'd go out into the field, work for 8 to 10 hours, then go back for dinner.
Yeah.
And then it would be 7 o'clock, and we'd have the evening to ourselves. Except you, with your brand new promotion, who had to do an extra 2 hours of paperwork. So you basically were working from when you woke up to when you went to bed.
Yes.
And you
Oh, so he actually was the supervisor briefly for him. Oh, that. And so not only do you have to do talking to people when they were in public, but he had to actually just do paper. Sorry, I am not a paperwork person. I am not. Nope. That sounds like, well, I need to find a new job type deal.
talked about how you were working for 2 or 3 weeks, and then you'd have a week off.
But you don't actually have
when
any
I
week
was
off.
there, you were scheduled for 5 weeks on and 1 week off.
Yeah. I had been working for over a month without a break.
I have done those shifts before. I do not miss those shifts before. Oh, God.
When their job originally started, it was hourly pay, which was pretty good.
Yeah.
You had to
He became
save money
salary.
because in the winter, you weren't getting paid because you weren't working.
Right.
The people that were in charge of the company decided, we're going to do salary. Because that way, no, don't, hang on, let us explain.
Salary, where we're going to expect you to work the same hours as when you were hourly. In exchange, we'll let you take money even when you're not working because you'll have a steady pay rate. Also, you're going to work the same hours you did when you were paid hourly, but not actually get compensated as much. So we're saving money. Don't you love it? We're going to pay you less, but make you think you got paid more.
We're going to do salary because that way we'll bank all of your overtime hours, and then you can get paid in the winter with all of your overtime hours.
But I'm assuming he wasn't full-time, so that even though he's salary, they just don't pay him because he wasn't working during it, because that sounds like a really good way to get around. It's like, don't worry, you'll get to bank those hours and you lose them because we're not going to acknowledge you work for us during that time. That sounds like the next place to go.
Okay, what's going to be my hourly pay rate? Well, it's $15 an hour, but you're going to be getting paid time and a half on overtime, and you guys work a lot of overtime.
And you're not getting overtime because you're salary.
You work a lot of overtime.
I can't believe they actually sold you on the idea of going from hourly to salary by saying, if you let us pay you less now, we promise to pay you for the months you're not working. How naive were we?
I mean, it was
took
a
it?
smaller company. I thought he was going to do it.
Oh, yeah. So he basically did exactly what I thought. I just completely screwed around with them. Also, Siri, the English major doesn't like putting words to paper. I like putting words to paper. I do not like doing accounting. No. Like, I do my taxes. It takes me a couple of days. And most of that is going, kill me. Yeah, no.
All this stuff is going on. I'm working way more than I
Just
want
got
to
unemployed
work.
as soon as it came to the
The
part for
boss
not
of the
working.
company lived to work.
Oh, he's a workaholic.
Yeah.
I wanted to work to live.
Yep.
I did not want to live to work.
Yeah, his job was his business, it was his life.
It was his entire life.
It was basically
Oh, that's just depressing. Oh, God.
his legacy.
Did he say that?
I know.
Oh, okay.
Oh, thank God.
He acted like it was, though.
Yeah.
He was so dedicated to it.
He was very, very dedicated.
It's pipeline tests. I mean, yeah, you need it to make sure nothing blows up, but at the same time, oh God.
To his job.
So it started off with your friend, and he invited you.
Yes.
And then you invited me. So it was the three of us, and the boss, and the supervisor
Small
for a
team.
while. And then the supervisor brought on his daughter. The daughter didn't really gel well with the pipeline survey
Why?
job. She didn't want to crawl around in the weeds like us guys. She didn't want to get dirty.
No, she was much better suited to be a model.
Yeah, I was gonna say a secretary or a desk job. But yeah, she was a hot older teenage girl, and that's not my description. Her father would say that. Oh,
Because at this time, them saying that, they were probably in their 20s. That's fine. But the dad? Okay, yeah, no, that is not a red flag. That is a get out. This is the black flag in soccer that you're calling on yourself. You need to be ejected for your own safety. Oh, God.
oh yeah, my daughter is so hot.
Yeah.
Which was a little weird.
Wasn't there one
That's a
time where
word.
she basically jumped into your lap because of a bug?
She was in the driver's seat of the car on her phone, and I was in the passenger seat of the vehicle, and she looked to her left
Please don't tell me they were driving. Please don't tell me they were driving.
and saw a giant cricket or a cockroach or something, and she panicked and threw herself on the other side of the vehicle and clambered over onto my side.
Fun.
Yeah. She was not an outdoorsy type of person.
Why?
I don't know why her father thought it was a good fit.
I don't.
Because it's a good way to give your daughter money without giving her an allowance. Because that's the way she earns it. Oh, God, I'm hoping that's why. Please don't tell me this was in the Miami area in the 90s. Because there's way too many complications that come with that entire sentence.
I don't know. There weren't many employees, but there were some other. Oh my God. I forgot about Gehoff.
What?
I don't believe I
Oh, God, they actually spelled it Gehoff. It's a... Oh, no. Oh, I'm assuming this guy's going to be a real Gehoff. A Gehoff hole, you can even say.
was with you when you had Gehoff on
You
the
may
team.
be wondering why I'm mispronouncing the name Jeff. Because his name was spelled Gehoff.
Gehoff.
But he insisted
Yeah, Gehoff,
that
that
his
one.
name was pronounced
Jeff.
Gehoff.
Gehoff.
He was a very weird man.
With a name like that, I think it's almost expected.
His previous job was working at Burger King, and he was the most gourmy, socially awkward motherfucker.
Okay, I'm just going to say this right out. I don't know what gourmet means, but in context, I'm assuming... Yeah.
And this is coming from me.
Yeah, well, this job is great for him then, because you rarely have to interact with people except when they yell at you for being in their yard.
Yeah, and he did not handle anyone taking any type of tone to him.
Oh.
Because he would just freak out and didn't understand what was happening.
Oh, so no, this is not socially awkward. This is, I don't know how to deal with people. I will default to anger. Oh, one of those. I have worked with people like that. I have also, when I did an insurance job, met with people like that. I don't do insurance because I was a terrible salesman and I couldn't get anything for anyone. I do mean get, because the people who contact you when you sell health insurance was the people who needed it. And yeah, you can exactly guess how well that went.
Anyway,
Oh, God.
I've blocked most of his memory from my mind.
Fair enough.
Probably for good reason.
Was I at that company long enough to earn my 1 week break? I think I just kind of gave up after 3 weeks. I think it was maybe a month at most that I spent.
I mean, considering the owner was a workaholic who talked about how his daughter was hot and young, there are so many, to quote the chat, that's not a red flag, that's a red flagship. Quitting after 3 weeks is probably 2 weeks too many. And the first one because you're probably in training.
There.
The time for me at that job has become incredibly dilated because of how long I spent working. So it made it seem longer than it probably actually was.
Yeah.
So we were doing a job, I think it was in Ohio.
Probably.
America's Florida if Florida was accurate and more depressed. Because the difference between Ohio and Florida, the coastline is better in Florida. That's it.
Well, this pipeline happened to go under what was basically like a preserve, so they weren't allowed to clear it.
Oh.
So we're basically stumbling through brush that is taller than we are.
Please tell me they at least put on like full body clothing, like heavy jeans, tuck them into the socks because, like heavy duty socks. Because I mean, if you do that, getting through a brush is a lot easier. But if you're like in jeans and like loose jeans or maybe even shorts and a t-shirt, oh God, you're going to get cut up, man. Also, someone actually answered my question in the chat. According to Gabriel, gormy or gami is an adjective primarily used in the Northern English and New England dialects, meaning awkward, clumsy, or klutzy. Can also describe something sticky and smeared. You know, in context, I'm assuming the last two are the ones being used. Oh God. Oh.
We're getting this weird pollen dust all over us.
Yeah, one day it was just a particularly bad day. You had been working for 5 weeks straight. You'd been working for, 13 hours a day, including all the paperwork.
Longer than that.
It was nonsense. It was obviously...
You were having one of the worst allergy attacks I've ever seen anyone have.
To give an idea of what I mean when I say this is a, oh God, why are you doing this location? Ohio, prior to people actively reclaiming land, was all swamp. Like Florida. If there is land there that's buildable, it's because they cleared it of swampland. So if you haven't cleared it, it's probably still a swamp. If they're in a preserve, it's a swamp. Or swampy. Yeah.
I thought you...
Also, hey, No Name. You just woke up. The Super iPad Roll video just dropped. I heard about that one on Fear and Hunger too. I haven't seen it yet, but I have heard about it.
Legitimately thought you might pass out. Because there was a point where you sneezed for, I am not fucking kidding, over a minute straight.
Done that. It sucks. There's places where it's like sudden pollen, followed by sudden mosquitoes everywhere. And if the wind just happens to do both at the same time, well, that's gonna suck.
Sneezing.
I didn't realize my sinuses could hold that much mucus.
But it does.
It was, your body was just taking any moisture it had and diverting it to mucus production. A minute doesn't seem that long until you do nothing but sneeze for 1 minute.
Yeah.
And then it is forever.
Yeah, so I was...
I remember the first time I took Benadryl because of Ohio. I don't remember what happened after I took it because Benadryl, but it was the first time.
feeling overworked. I was watching you be even more overworked. They were, I think, actually cutting the amount of money we're getting for DM, so we actually had to spend our own money on food.
Yep, we were spending our own money on food.
And also saving money on not paying them for time because they went to salary. Yeah, who'd have thought? Businesses that cut money, cut people.
You had walked through some poison ivy at one point and didn't realize it, but the poison ivy lotion wasn't even in the vehicle because the boss had taken it out of the car the previous night.
Yeah, and it's summer, so we're sweating like fucking crazy.
So they're probably in shorts as well, so it's right on the skin. Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
I've got poison ivy on my hands, and I wipe the sweat out of my eyes, which means now I have poison ivy in my eyeballs.
Mm-hmm.
We get back up to the truck.
I mean, I've had poison ivy on me. I think most people have at some point. I have not had it in my eyes. Oh, God. This is like, I'm just going to file for workers' comp and say, fuck this at that point.
My eyes are starting to, like, swell and have turned completely red. I look like I smoked all the marijuana in the world. My eyes are so red.
Yeah, bloodshot.
You drove back to the hotel. I basically had to take a shower in this poison ivy soap that was back at the hotel room.
At what point do you just think, nah, I'm just going to bathe in alcohol? Why? Because I don't want to remember any of this.
What a nonsense day that was.
What? Oh, God, it sucked. That night, after I had, like, gotten all the poison ivy off me, you were like, I don't know if I can keep doing this job.
I hate this job.
Yeah.
And that was the point where I was like, oh, fuck, I think I hate this job.
Yeah.
I think I really hate this job. Like, and because I had basically The only like good job I had up until that point was teaching small arms repair.
Wait, he actually finally got to teach? Because the last video I saw from him was like, I want to teach small arms repair. No, you're going to be the guy doing the entire camp. Oh God, why are we here? Fuck this. And he's the armorer. Oh God. Also, Duck, you have never broken a bone or been stung by a bee or got poison ivy. I'm going to just pull this up so everyone else can see this level of bullshit here, because this man, God damn, you lucky son of a bitch. I'm very jealous. I've done all of those multiple times.
So I'm just acclimatized to shit jobs.
Yeah.
You had a lot of them. I had better experiences than you at that point, so even though I was having a better time than you because I didn't have to do paperwork for 2 hours a day, I still wasn't happy. The job was miserable.
I can't.
How
do
did it
this
sound
anymore.
so good and then go so
not
bad?
even 2 weeks notice. I've been working 5 weeks.
You can't have a girlfriend or a wife if you're working 5 weeks out of every.
At some point, you give up on having a house because you're not home long enough to make rent viable. Which, I mean, admittedly, there are very nice campers where it's not even a bad option, but still, oh dear God.
6 weeks somewhere else.
I'm paying rent at my apartment, and I'm not even there.
Yeah,
I'm not even there the majority of the time.
it was a terrible job, so we quit.
Yeah. Also, I'm being told Duck said he was actually nearly scalped once. Thankfully, I haven't been done that one, so yeah, trade-offs there. Goddamn. And Croc mentioned that he left the military as a civilian contractor because someone needed to replace him. So that he got the job afterwards. Okay, that makes more sense.
And I never went back.
I wish I never went back.
Oh, you went back.
He went back.
So I didn't have a job for like 2 or 3 weeks, and I was just like, oh shit, what the fuck am I gonna do? And the guy that had originally told me about the job was like, yeah, if you can come back, like we really need help.
Cause we can't actually afford any good employees, so can we have you back?
Fine, I'll come back.
Did they give you a better offer to entice you
No.
back, better pay?
No,
or
I got.
Because if you're coming back, that means they have more power and they can pay you less because you're desperate. Also, Harkin, you almost got killed by a normal pollen allergy reaction? Yeah. Yeah, I've honestly, in hindsight, it probably was pretty close to that. I stopped breathing for a bit. Didn't think it was a big deal since allergies always did that, but it's like apparently it freaked my wife out at the time. Oh, girlfriend at the time. Yeah, and Duck, you had granite steps that falling does that. Oh, you fell on granite steps. Ooh, yeah, that would do it. You know, I'm going to start ignoring my chat because they're just talking about all the ways they could get hurt, and it's making my skin crawl. I'm not going to read that. Oh, God.
Pay less
My fault for bringing it up.
because I had quit before, and they weren't sure they could trust me.
Quit
You were
again.
desperate. They said they'd take you back at a reduced rate. You
Yep.
said, I guess
It's better than because
Better than nothing.
if you've ever been out of work and had to apply for jobs, it is the most demeaning thing ever.
Yeah, especially when it's like, okay, so we have an entry-level job where you're going to get paid minimum wage, and you better have already done this job for 10 years. No? Well, you waste your time, leave.
Especially if you're someone like me that graduated from college right around when the 2008 recession was really starting to happen, where it was just like impossible to find jobs. They just didn't need people.
Yeah, at that time, I was in Ohio trying to find jobs to afford college. And I joked once that I was competing for a job at McDonald's with a doctor. I stopped telling that joke when he actually had that on his resume because he was just as desperate as I was because it was right south of Detroit and it was bad.
So I start working at the job again, and it sucks.
You went back.
My friend was like, it's better now.
Is
it's
it?
a little bit better.
Yeah.
It's just if you come back in 5 weeks, it's gonna be winter, so we're gonna be getting the salary for winter.
No.
So he came back.
No, because he quit so he could say, well, you didn't earn any time, so I'm just not going to pay you.
I worked there. 4 weeks in, oh, we've decided we're not gonna do salary anymore. We're going back to hourly pay.
And there's the burn.
Fucking
Yep. Just in time for them not to pay what they owed you. And I'm sure as soon as it's time for them to actually work again, back to salary.
what?
So all that money you were going to get over winter is gone now.
What about all that overtime that I worked like earlier in the year? Because you quit working for us, so you don't get that. What?
Yeah.
It's not financially responsible for us to do salary.
This guy is an absolute and utter idiot. Like the manager, No, never mind. He's not absolutely underrated. He's very good at fucking everyone over because, money. It's like if Mr. Krabs is just somehow even dumber because at least Mr. Krabs was a good dad to Pearl. When I can unironically say Mr. Krabs is a better example, oh dear God. Also, Duck's talking about wasp stings. Oh, those fuckers, yeah. And, Valerian, why the fuck do you need to afford college? I mean, I did. Eventually, I did manage to work through it because I got incredibly lucky in the stock markets in the 2008 recession. I bought a lot of Bear Stearns stock right as it crashed, and then someone bought it. It's like, oh, I got lucky. That's literally the only excuse because I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. So I paid off undergrad. Now I just have to pay grad school. Yeah, that'll be a while.
Cool, I quit.
Yeah.
I quit.
They probably were banking on you guys to quit. They weren't ever going to pay you in the winter.
Nope.
The other guy that was there, we both quit. We're just like, what? No, we're done. We're done. Like, this is insane. Mm-hmm. And you said that you don't trust me?
Yeah.
You don't trust me, so you're hiring me at a lower rate? Mm-hmm. Because I might quit again? Guess what? I fucking did.
Yeah.
Boy, I sure proved you right.
Mm-hmm.
And probably didn't get the back pay he was owed because, well, you don't work for me and you quit early. Probably on probation so they could get away with it.
And now that we're older, we know all the things like if they're going to change your employment contract, get it in writing.
Yeah. Don't just trust your employer.
Well, also, if you get it in writing, you still have to have the attorney's fees to sue them because it would probably go to small claims court, unless it's for a large enough amount, in which case going to a higher level might be justifiable if you're suing for not just punitive damages, but pain and suffering, or not just the loss, but also punitive, because, make sure someone doesn't. But then you also have to, win and hope the other guy doesn't try to make an example out of you because I could win this and you can lose. But also, I could drag this out long enough you impoverish yourself. Yeah. It's one of the reasons people who say the law's on their side forget that the law might be, but your bank account isn't.
To do what's right for you. On that topic of not trusting your employer, our friend Ryan, he worked for a dairy company for a while.
Okay.
He worked for them a long time, basically shipping milk. At one
He's
point,
literally
his
a milkman.
Christmas bonus
Jar of milk.
was he got 5 free gallons of milk.
On the one hand, that seems insulting. On the other hand, I've never got bonuses from anywhere I've ever worked in decades, so technically, that's more than most people get. It's still insulting, though.
Oh boy! I cannot drink 5 gallons of milk.
Oh,
before
it's
it goes
fine.
bad.
It's coupons, so you can redeem them whenever.
Oh.
Also, unironically, my wife would appreciate that because she goes through milk insanely fast. Because if I want to bribe her, I just get cereal. She is a fiend, and it's her thing.
Oh, see, no, okay, there's nothing to complain about.
Despite the fact that you work at a dairy plant and you can just grab a gallon of milk whenever you need one. Mm-hmm. At one point when he was working there, and he was talking to the new employee, and the new employee was like, oh yeah, I'm getting paid X amount of dollars.
It's probably more than him.
And that was why more than he was being paid.
Yeah. So he basically was just like, yeah, I'm not doing any more work today until you pay me as much or more than he is getting paid.
Nice.
I'm not doing anything else.
Put your foot down.
Yep. I've actually worked in places where this happened, but it was kind of funny how it worked out, where the people who were getting paid more found out when they were paid more than the manager. Yeah. So things actually got fixed because the guy who had to sign the checks was screwing around. And honestly, in hindsight, that was probably intentional, learning what we did about what he did. But yeah. No, the boss who was actually running everything's like, so that new guy we just hired, he's getting paid more than me. It got fixed. Very slowly. Yeah.
I'm literally doing nothing else until you pay me as much or more than he's getting paid. Well, we'll have to talk to management about... Well, fine, but I'm not doing anything until then.
That is so commendable to stand your ground.
Get
I wish
fired.
I could have done that.
I'm just used to the idea of, oh, okay, you're fired. Leave. If you don't leave, we're calling the police because you're trespassing.
So much abuse because we were convinced that employers will have your best interest in mind.
Yeah. Who would ever believe that? The one good employer I had, not a good job, horrible job, but good employer, was very much a probably would have been a sleazebag. But I don't know him that well, but he actually backed up his employees, pay them shit. But that's because the boss, found out later they're stretching on a shoestring would have been more money than they had. That's why they later went out of business. But also because they died. But that's beside the point. That was the one good boss I had. And everyone else is like, no, I'm fine if you just, just go walk off a bridge so I don't have to pay you this week. Like, literally, who would ever believe management is out for you? No, they're out for their paycheck. It's why HR is about how you can manage the stupid shit so the boss doesn't get sued.
They care about you.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
Did they actually fire him there?
No, they actually
They
gave
actually
him
did.
more money.
There you go.
Okay, that's actually surprising. Unironically. Good news. Was not expecting that twist. That's actually very pleasant.
Oh.
It wasn't much, but it was more.
Uh-huh.
After I quit the pipeline survey job, I took a job working at a factory that produces the dyes they use to stamp out the body parts of cars.
Dyes? Oh, they mean like the actual molds, not the coloration. Okay, that makes more sense. Also, Crit, I'm just going to pull up your comment. Okay. Oh, where'd it go? In a proper company, managers shouldn't be paid more than a regular employee. That would be nice. But also, this guy had been there for like a decade, and he was literally running the entire company, and his boss above him never came to work, didn't show up, and was probably embezzling. Yeah. The guy tried to convert it from a security company inside a museum that was, fully vested with the company itself, like the actual Carnegie company, into a private firm, and it backfired because they unionized and actually negotiated for pretty good health insurance and benefits and pay, which was not what he wanted because he was getting paid under the table, allegedly, by the current leaders of the museum to make sure it was cheaper, and it was not cheaper. Yeah. Fuckery ensues.
Okay.
So I worked at a company that makes those things. And I was just doing custodial work at that job.
Yeah.
The
Hey,
reason
someone
I
just do
ended
it.
up losing that job, not because it was absolutely god-awful.
No, because back then you would still put up with that stuff.
I was still putting up with it. I was like, I need to work, and yeah, it's only $10 an hour, but whatever, fuck it.
Oh, God. They had a custodian and only paid him $10 an hour. If there's one job you don't fuck with, it's the guy who makes sure the floor is not literally seeping shit. Because it's one of those jobs where if they don't do their job, you are going to be assaulted by it.
I need money. If you missed a day of work during your probationary period, which was 180 days, you were fired. Zero tolerance policy.
And you missed a day?
I told them beforehand, I was like, hey, I need like this time off. Well, I don't know if we can do that. Like,
Yeah.
I have to leave. I have a doctor appointment. Let's not forget, I'm a veteran with PTSD, and I'm on brain pills, so I might just want to fucking murder myself. Maybe I'm having a real fucking bad time, man.
Yeah,
But it's very easy to get rid of people because fuck them.
I gave you forewarning. I'm not going to be here that day.
I'm not going to be here that day. I have to be somewhere. Okay, so I talked to like 6 people up the chain of
Oh,
command.
they really were
I'm
just
not
being
gonna be
dicks
here
about
that-
this.
Okay, we'll get it up. We'll get it figured out. We'll get it figured out. I'm not there that day. The next day I show up for work. You weren't here yesterday. Yeah, I said I was going to be gone. Well, we have to let you go.
That was that.
Cool.
This is where you just grab whatever you're working on and turn it over because it's probably covered in shit and it's going to be their problem.
Great, thanks. Thanks for absolutely fucking nothing.
Yeah. I've told you about a lot.
You know what? I've actually seen multiple videos from. I never saw what his character looked like until literally this moment. Good to know.
A lot of terrible jobs that I've had. From cheese recycler.
Yep.
I've told you about a lot of terrible jobs that I've had. From cheese recycler.
Nope. I did hear and read those words correctly. I did not know you could recycle cheese because I didn't think anyone would ever let it survive long enough for that to be a necessary thing. And everything I just read and heard and am now processing mentally is pain. There are so many things wrong with that. Oh, God.
Yep.
To injection molder. There was another job where I assembled mirrors
Oh no.
I was working in a factory, and we were assembling rear view mirrors.
Why do I feel like this is going to involve a lot of very sharp objects very fast?
Yes.
For vehicles. And they told me, yeah, by the way, before you leave every day, look at this giant screen that has all of the shifts on it. Because if you're scheduled for overtime, we're not going to tell you. It's just going to be on that board.
They don't even tell people they're scheduled for overtime? I mean, I've worked at companies like this where it's like, here's your schedule. You find out when you arrive. You better come in every day. Otherwise, you're not going to know you're actually scheduled. It worked about as well as you think. Oh, God. Also, Duck, you know injection motor? I have no idea how hellish that is myself. I've never done that. I don't think I want to find out now.
Fuck's sake.
I came in one day and they said, hey, you were scheduled for an extra 4 hours yesterday and you didn't show up 4 hours early. And I said, oh, sorry. I'm still, new here.
I guess they fired him
I
then.
didn't know. I got fired.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course. Why? Why not? Why wouldn't they?
No.
You didn't show up.
They liked me so much, they promoted me, and then I made a simple mistake and they fired me.
Yeah.
I'm assuming, considering the time period, if he graduated in 2008, this is probably the mid 2010s. So essentially, there was a lot of unemployment, as there still is. So it's more of an employer's market than a job market. So that unfortunately makes a lot of sense. Also, Croc, thank you for the distraction. Talk about old cheese. Oh no. What's your opinion on us making you one day watch FE video on cheese bunkers one day with alternative being chicken mines? I actually know a bit about the cheese bunkers, if only that we have, and I'm being completely fair about this, not making a joke, U.S. strategic cheese reserves. And considering what my opinion on cheese is, I find this is a perfectly valid option, and it just means it's aged. If they have the right type of cheese. God help us if they have something stupid like just brie. Why would you store brie? That's a horrible idea. Parmesan, okay, that probably would work out pretty well. Like any cheese that could age and be more tasty because of it, but there's a lot of options there that just sound horrible. That actually sounds pretty interesting, though.
Probationary periods are so fun.
Yeah, they're amazing and wonderful.
And easily abused.
And then there was the time I worked for the furniture assembly factory.
I didn't know about this.
Oh, yes. I was assembling tables.
Oh, I do know about this job. Because I know what's going to happen.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
I worked at that job for a month. At the end of every shift, we have to clean the machine.
Yes.
At the end of one day, the machine was still running when I went to clean it out, and it chunked off a part of my finger. That was the day I learned about avulsions.
I don't know what an avulsion is. I don't think I want to know what an avulsion is. Oh, no. Also, just to distract me from whatever learning an avulsion is, Siren, it's specifically the type of cheese that was given out for welfare or government cheese. I actually know about this because my mother-in-law talked about when she was growing up. That's the kind of food they got from the government because they were there. They lived in a part of Washington, PA that was... They had an outhouse until she was maybe in her teens. And that was normal in her area because that's just what it was like. So this government cheese is something they looked forward to and they still love it. And she'll go and try and find it now because she has fond memories of it. So I don't actually think that's a bad thing because apparently it was good. Also, for anyone wondering, Velveeta, the way you make that like packaged cheese, it's eggs, oil. Like that's actually the stuff you put in there. It's actually not bad. Just looks weird.
Which is different from...
And by oil, I mean like olive oil.
Amputations, because amputation implies precision. When your finger gets ripped...
Yep, I knew we'd be getting an example here, and I did not want that example. Oh, God, I'm glad I did not eat this morning.
Apart, that's called an avulsion.
Yeah, I remember you sending me pictures of your
Oh,
fingers.
God!
I still have those pictures
Oh,
saved.
God!
Yeah, fucked up.
Yeah. I got a worksite injury. They asked me at the time, do you think you need an ambulance?
And the correct answer was, no, I'm fine, let me get back to work. And then they fired him for taking an ambulance for a worksite injury that they probably are at fault for.
And I'm sitting there on the ground covered in blood because my finger just got ripped apart. Yes?
I don't know.
You want me to make the decision? I'm basically in shock right now. Yes, get me to the hospital. Ambulance, sure. Looking back on it, it's not life-threatening. You could just take me there in a car.
Yeah.
But
Oh, because ambulances aren't covered by healthcare, so if you take one, you have to cover it yourself, and those go, oh. Healthcare, for as fucked up as it is, usually better. Like, it's still expensive, thousands of dollars. Ambulances often or never sometimes covered by healthcare. So it's like, okay, that was $10,000 for that 30 minutes, or that 5 minutes, or that we took you across the street. Because you're paying professional medics their full rate, which normally wouldn't be something you cover because healthcare would get it. But if you're in an ambulance, they just cover it. And if it's a private ambulance company as opposed to a contracted one for the hospital, it might be more. And if you're taken to a hospital they're not contracted for, it might also have additional fees if they put that there, but not all of them do. So it could be a thing. And you never know because you're not the one choosing where you go. So, yeah, Duck is saying 500 to nearly $2,000 for an ambi. I've heard anywhere from 500 to 10,000. Depending on where, what hospitals, how far, and how much medical attention you needed. So, yeah.
You asked me if I need an ambulance. Sure, give me an ambulance. I don't know, fix this. I don't know how bad it's going to be. I don't know if my life is going to be permanently altered from that point on.
If it's a pinky, you can ignore it. If it's any of these 3 fingers, you're going to notice it.
Yeah, you basically just had 2 fingers.
Oh, it was multiple fingers
down on your dominant hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened to my uncle. He waves like this. I'm not even making a joke. He actually does. He was doing a buzzsaw home improvement. Yeah. Oddly enough, doesn't actually notice it anymore. Apparently you can still do a lot with nubs. But, oh god, he also took pictures and spread them around, and, I would like to not think about that anymore.
Yeah, you don't expect to look down and see part of your hand missing. It's shocking. They took me to the hospital, they checked me out, said, there's not much we can do, we'll bandage it, we'll change the bandages every day, and hope for the best. You know, they did what they could.
They at least gave him pain meds, right? Because missing parts of body would probably need that.
There wasn't much they could do.
Yeah.
But after that, the company really didn't want to keep me around. So they started framing me for safety violations. They'd walk past a conveyor belt and say, hey, that safety isn't on. And it's like, I'm not the only one who uses this conveyor belt.
Yeah.
Like 4 or 5.
Yep. But now that they might be at risk of a workplace violation, if you decide to take that, either to sue them or if you want to try and get workers' compensation because you are now injured on the job, they're at risk. So you better be very, very much at fault. Otherwise, they might be at fault.
Other people use this conveyor belt. I engage the safety brake every time, but I can't ensure it stays locked because other people use it. This happened a couple times. They noticed a safety violation. They told me that it was my fault.
And they're building up a history written in paper where they're alleging it's him. And after they show a pattern, they can allege that he's showing based on this that it's his fault. So even if it's not, on paper, it looks like it is. So it becomes his fault because no one else was there to gainsay it.
They made me sign a piece of paper. But that was the 4th safety violation they'd written me up for. So they had total cause to let me go and deny me unemployment because it's all my fault.
Because you had safety violations.
If I had just not signed these pieces of paper, I would have had a better chance of getting unemployment.
You probably would have gotten fired, but
Yep.
you would have been able to collect unemployment because they fired you without cause.
Although there are plenty of places that will actively take you to court to sue you for unemployment because for some reason they're just dicks, even if unemployment might be cheaper. I've never actually been on it myself because every place I've quit, I've just quit. Except for the one Cold Stone that fired me, but then let me work for like another 2 weeks with them. Yeah, that was weird. I mean, it was free ice cream every night. I was like, yeah, that's probably fine. Also, they paid more in ice cream than in pay.
The society we live in is so screwed up that even though I've had about 40 jobs at this point, I think I've collected unemployment maybe once in my entire life.
Yeah.
I know they make you fill out paperwork and show proof that you've actually been applying to jobs. It is such a hassle.
It is the biggest hassle because when I was on unemployment, I had to prove that I had applied for 8 jobs a week. And then I had to go to things where it's like, here's how you use the internet to apply for a job. And it's like a 6-hour course on how to use the internet to apply for a job. I know how to fucking do this. I know how to look for jobs. There's none available right now. Nobody is fucking hiring. Unless I want to get a job working at Walmart, getting paid $3 an hour.
Yeah, some bullshit like that.
Some fuck.
Or where they do a common turnaround, it's like, they enable you to get tips. But in some places, that means you also don't require minimum wage anymore, so they can pay you less. Or like the one Cold Stone I worked with, where they deducted tips from your pay.
Shit thing. And then it's like, anyway, I'm getting off topic.
There was one job I worked.
Martin, when I come back when I was fired? Oh no, they basically were just closing down for the winter. It's like, yeah, we're not going to have anyone here because it's going to be winter and it's 2008. In hindsight, it made perfect sense. But also, they would just let you take home a ton of ice cream every night. So it's like, on the one hand, you're paying me about like $100 a week. On the other hand, you are giving me about $300 of ice cream every week. I'm just saying, I wasn't there for the money. I was there for the perks, man. It was actually not bad. Not good management, but not far from the worst.
Worked for the plastic injection molding facility. I didn't like that job. It was a paycheck. It was flexible. I stayed with it.
Am I the only one who reads flexible and job and just hears panic? Maybe that's just me at this point.
It was third shift, which sucked, but the supervisor
night shift.
was a fellow Marine, a great guy. I did Toys for Tots charity work with him. I liked him. He asked me to stay with the company a little longer. I said, okay, I'll do it for you. I do plan on leaving soon, but at your request, I will stay here for a few more months.
How many years did he stay there for?
And then he got let go because he wasn't meeting the quota or something that the company wanted.
Christ.
And when they did that,
They went
I put
downhill?
in my 2-week notice because I was only there at his request. But there were a couple other people that just quit outright, and I kind of wish I was with them.
Yeah.
Like, they blamed him for not being able to retain somebody on third shift at this stupid factory that doesn't pay well.
You legitimately didn't get paid enough to fix your car. And you would ride your bike to work, and there were times where your bike broke.
I forgot about that.
And you had to call me on a pay.
Yeah, I've done that before. Oh, God. Not often. It was like when I was in Ohio for college, but I had to ride my bike to college in 2 cities over because my car broke. Oh, dude, I remember that. It was Ohio, so it was mostly flat, except for the one time you had to drive up and then down the valley for the river. But other than that, it was fine.
Phone to come pick you up.
I remember, this job that I worked at was a 10-minute drive away from where I live.
But on bike, it's not 10 minutes.
It was so convenient. 10 minutes of driving away. But at one point, my vehicle broke down. I didn't have the money to fix it. So I would bike to work and bike back. My 10-minute drive became a 60-minute bike ride.
Yeah.
But there were a couple times where my bike broke
And then he has to walk or get a ride from someone, and yeah.
had a flat or something. So I would walk. There was one time I was walking back and I had my thumb out. I was hitchhiking on my way back home.
Oh my God.
One time I actually had somebody stop by and let me ride with him.
Surprising.
I asked him what his name was.
Oh, is this name going to be like a famous serial killer at this point? Because this is the twist I'm expecting right now. Also, I would never in any way, shape, or form ever want to do hitchhiking, because think about the people who would be like, hey, a random stranger that has no one to pick him up, so he obviously is alone. No! Oh, God. And Martin, you mentioned, or you could start an OnlyFans. You heard that pays well for people? Oh, God, I think I'll pass. Although I would unironically want to start an OnlyFans, which is literally just a video of a 24/7 stream of a fan spinning, because the meme is real, and I want to do that. Hell, I'm tempted to do that as something on this channel right now. If it was a waterproof fan, I would say, OnlyFans, 24 hours, very wet. And it would just be a water dripping on a fan the entire time. If it wasn't going to splatter everywhere, I would do that because the stupidness of it makes me actually want to do it. It would be dumb. It would be incredibly stupid. It would not be a good idea. But that's my favorite kind of idea, man.
I think his name was Wrench, I think he called himself.
Oh, God.
He was just covered in piercings and tattoos.
Oh,
like,
thank God.
Yeah, man, I used to hitchhike before. I know how it is.
Yeah, oh, thank God. As the weirder you are, the less likely you are to be a murderer. Because, unironically, if you find someone who looks like an average white guy who's quiet, doesn't talk much, and doesn't really want you to know about their hobbies, yeah, that's the person you need to look out for, because that's the Jeffrey Dahmer stereotype. The quiet little guy who no one has a problem with, who doesn't really raise attention, and just don't ask what color his very, very familiar sink utensils look like, and why they seem to be pulsing.
It's all good.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
When I was living in Virginia, I picked up hitchhikers once. I was driving somewhere, and there were two very attractive women sitting on the side of the road.
All right.
And
They weren't hitchhikers, were they?
had a sign like going to
no,
going to
we're hitchhiking.
Richmond or whatever.
Okay.
This seems like a scam.
They were from Germany, and they're like, "Yeah, we need a ride to get to here or wherever." I was, "Yeah, okay, yeah, I can give you a ride." So they come towards the car, and then 4 dudes come with them.
So either he's being robbed, or they knew exactly how to get a ride.
The guys were sitting just out of sight by a park
Yeah.
bench, and they were using the women as bait to lure unsuspecting men into giving them a ride somewhere.
Okay, they're actually just going for a ride. They're not actually just about to rob him blind. Because that's where I thought this was going.
So I had 6 Germans crammed into my car.
I think I've heard this one somewhere, but I don't think I'm going to go with that one because it was actually told by a grandpa who was German and had a German sense of humor, and it did not go where you wanted it to go publicly.
I thought that story was going to take a different turn, like you were going to get mugged.
Yeah.
There. They actually wanted a ride.
No, they actually wanted a ride, but they were like, yeah, people won't stop if it's 4 guys.
Yeah. Understandable. Yes, very much so. It's like, 4 guys. That looks like I'm going to get mugged. Hell, to be fair, that's where I thought this was going.
That's fair. Yeah. That's a good story.
Because when I pulled over, they were like, yeah, we need. Do you have room for 6 people in your car? And I was like, yeah, I do. And,
Oh, you got 4 lady friends hiding in those bushes over there?
Boy, this will be fun.
God.
One of the guys puts on some leggings and a high heel, sticks his leg out from the bush.
Oh, God.
Yeah, got some friends over there, all right.
I mean, I've heard stories about the German club nightlife, so that wouldn't even be the weirdest thing I've heard, man.
Oh man. Yeah, they fucking conned me. It was fine though.
Yeah.
We had a good laugh about it.
It's a con that everyone can enjoy.
I tried my really bad German
Oh,
at
no.
them, and they thought it was very funny.
Das ist ein Moron.
Mein Deutsch ist mittelmaßig.
Ah, yes.
I have no idea what
And
those words
they
are.
thought that was really funny because they're like, how can you say you're German? You know the word for mediocre.
Yeah.
How can you say your German is mediocre?
When it's not even that good.
Can't say anything else. Oh, I can say, ich habe Käse in meinen Hosen.
What?
I have cheese in my pants.
And then they taught you how to say.
Consider they bring up cheese recycling. I don't think I want to know if that was real or not.
Hey, don't shoot! I surrender.
Oh, God. Well, this was an incredibly depressing half of the video. I didn't realize the first half, where it was like, oh, here's the pipeline job that looks amazing, but we gotta talk to people, was turning into the, oh, God, version of the video. The first half almost had me, and then the second half definitely did. Yeah. Yeah, that went, at least in that last story about the hitchhikers, it went a lot better than I thought. I'm gonna just cling to that last one there because the rest of that video, I think I'm gonna go repress those memories. Unfortunately, this is still not alcohol. It's caffeine, so I'm making sure I'm extra awake to make sure I remember this. Either way, though, I do like the storytelling going on. I like mikeburnfire's videos. I like seeing how much shit these guys have had to deal with and going like, oh, glad that someone else had to go through this shit as well, man. You guys know the deal. Links below, original videos. Hit them up. I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.